welcome to Muggle Studies. This is the first installment of the video series for patrons of Occupolitics. Thank you so much, Ashley, for the name suggestion. I loved it. I couldn't have thought of it. I literally could have not thought of it because my brain is fried. So thank you so much. So in thinking what I was going to talk about today, I can't not talk about the fire in Notre Dame. That's really sad. Haven't been yet is how I should put that, right? So very sad about that, but also equally sad about the fact that a lot of non-Eurocentric religions get cast away or cast to the side whenever something happens. So let's not forget that other religions have been literally massacred by colonialism, and that's something that we also have to think about. Today I also want to talk about the politics of whataboutism, or just the both sides kind of narrative that we see a lot in the news. So I know that So the fallacy about listening to both sides is this. So if we have to think about the harmful or hurtful rhetoric that other groups have in order to justify their actions, then that's not listening to both sides. That's condoning it, right? So it's like if in Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic was let's just listen to those Death Eaters. They could have a point. What about both sides? Dumbledore, you make some good points. Voldemort, what is your counterpoint? That's the danger about, both sides. So when we're thinking about, especially in America, and even, around the world where white nationalism is rising, and we say, let's listen to the other side. They may have some good points. I don't know, the idea that one race is superior to all other races and that other races should be subservient to them, and maybe not those words, but definitely what they think. I don't think that's a valid argument. So, not interested in that argument. That's literally how Nazis operated, right? So, this idea that we owe it to the other side to hear them out or convince them with rhetoric, it's not gonna work, right? So they can either be shamed for thinking the way they think, or we could just say unacceptable way to think, you're not part of my society, right? I don't think that would, radicalize them further, because they're pretty much radicalized already. It's not like Voldemort was oh, too bad that Dumbledore doesn't believe in me. I'm just gonna go ahead and murder people. He was already doing that, guys. I'm pretty sure. If they think that way, that's what they're going to do, and there's nothing that we can say or do to make them think any other way, other than maybe them meeting people they do not sometimes we'll see, oh, I changed my mind because I met with a person of color and saw how they lived or whatever. Okay, cool. You have the internet. You can read stories. You can learn. You can have empathy. It's not that hard, guys. It's really not that hard. So when people are saying entertain my point of view, I can entertain a lot of points of view. When that point of view is putting someone else down or saying that they shouldn't exist or they should have less rights, if you're not for gay marriage, that's not a point of view I'm interested in debating. Really, I'm not interested in debating that anymore. I'm just like, then you don't think they're human beings? Then if you don't believe in the inherent like humanity of people, then I'm not going to entertain your point of view or your supposed point of view, because it's hateful. And in entertaining your point of view, I'm making you think that you have something valid, and you don't have something valid. Like, to put down other people because of, you know, who they're born as. No, I'm not this is not something I want to entertain, really. So that's where I come on that. Curious to know where you guys come on this. But I think that it ties back again to our series, because JK is like, Death Eaters. Let's not entertain their point of view, right? I think that wraps up what I wanted to talk about in terms of like kind of politics or anything like that. If you have any thoughts of what you'd like to see in this section right here, just let me know and I'll try to put that in there. Something else that I want to kind of talk to you guys about is the fact that I started antidepressants last week. So as you know, I talk about it all the time. How could you not know? I've been going to therapy for 6 months now, and things were getting better until they weren't. So my therapist and I decided I needed to go to my doctor and, you know, after scoring on my tests, talk to my doctor about antidepressants so that therapy could be more useful for me. I've never taken antidepressants, so I've started on the smallest possible dose, and the first few days were insane. I could not sleep. Like, literally could not sleep. I would just be like wide awake. I felt like, what is going on? I drank too much coffee, like that kind of awake. And then I felt like super happy as well, which is kind of strange for me. I'm always kind of like internally grouchy and like angry all the time, which is another thing that is indicative of anxiety and depression, is the fact that if you're like inside like angry, that you could have anxiety and or depression. So I felt like happy and I felt like smiling all the time, which not all the time usually for me, right? So I felt contented. And then day 5 and day 6, day 6 and day 7, which is yesterday and today, I was exhausted. Like, I slept so much. My brain was just not working. It was super foggy. I am at a rare moment of clarity right now as I'm doing this video after a long bath. But I felt so exhausted, like maybe the not sleeping but still feeling energized before was catching up to me. Like, girl, you need some sleep. So I was just floored. I was just like, what is going on? And now I know that most antidepressants take about 2 to 3 weeks to start even like working a little bit. So I don't know what those first few days were about. Maybe it's a placebo effect. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? I'm just like floored as to my body's reaction to it, right? So don't know. Then, other things that are going in my life, I'm working from home, so that's great right now because I can kind of like, when I'm exhausted, take a nap, go back to work, take a nap, go back to work without it like interrupting too much of my productivity. But that means I'm working longer. Not necessarily longer. I'm working until the evening, even though I'm working still the same amount of time. And then I'm having kind of like, it's hard because some people were laid off from where I work. And so that's kind of like feeding my anxiety, obviously, because you're like, could I be next? Like, what is going on? I don't know. I'm fairly new. I started this job in October, and then my previous job, they've been having kind of like some purging of leadership, and the new leadership, one of the people in the new leadership kind of wants me back there. Not sure I want to be back in that environment, but the person who would be my boss, I don't think wants me there. So it's really strange and it's really weird, and it's a difficult position to navigate. In the past, I've been just like scorched earth methodology, which means like I would have just gone to my boss's boss and been like, this person clearly doesn't want me here, so bye. And like kind of burned that bridge. And right now I'm kind of considering, what if? And maybe this is the antidepressant, maybe not. I'm just like, what if I just left it alone? Like, what if I just said, you know what? It doesn't seem like it's working. Bye. And not like no hard feelings. Like let's just be an adult about this and not like tattle on people. Because I don't think, even if I like, my way of thinking is this, like, if I were to go to my boss's boss and be like, this bish doesn't want me here, and my boss's boss is like, but I want you here, and then I get hired, and the person who would be my boss never wanted me there, what do I gain? A hostile work environment is what I gain, right? So, like, is it worth it? I don't think so. Not for my mental health, not for anything, right? So I feel like this got really personal, guys. But that's why I'm doing these videos. So it is what it is. I'm really excited about next week's episode because I'll have Seth back. And as we know, Seth has read 2 Harry Potter chapters in his entire life. This will be the 3rd. And it's because we made that joke about like episode 420, and he wanted to be on episode 420. So that's why he's coming back. And also he's like a good guest to have. I hope you enjoy it. And I wanted to show you my dogs because I talk about them a lot. I'm going to show you one of them who's like sleeping next to me this entire time. And if this is, when I say my Patronus is a Chihuahua, this is my Patronus. Hi, Emmy. Say hello. She is very annoyed that I woke her up. But this, when I say my Patronus is my white Chihuahua, this is who I imagine my Patronus being. And she's probably going to go back under the covers and sleep. That's it for Muggle Studies today. Class is ended. I don't know how to end these videos, guys. So please sound off on the comments how to end these videos, because class has ended is not great. But that's just me. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. See you in 2 weeks. All right, I'm back, but only because I forgot. And then I wanted to show you guys this really cool t-shirt. Isn't it great? It has all the Marauders' names, and I'll put the link down on the post. I think I can put a link on the post. If not, I'll make a new post and put the link in there so that you know where to find it on TeePublic. Bye! Hi. Hello. Problem I have with, let's listen at both sides. Shh. Emmy has a problem also with listening to both sides.